I'm just reminding everybody that we are being recorded, which Jeanette already told us all, but just mentioning it again. I take it there are no public comments. No one contacted you, Jeanette, as they need to before?
Correct. Can you just hang on 1 second, Susan?
Yep.
We have a caller at 499-9360. I believe this is Janet. Janet, can you hear us? Would the person at 203-499-9360 please identify themselves? Okay. I'm going to assume it's Janet.
What did you say that number was? Because I have something here.
499-9360, I believe is Janet.
No, I don't have it.
Showing up on my Zoom list as being on the call.
Say that again, Pat.
She's showing up on my list of participants as being on the call, so it must, must be her.
So I see her that she tried to come in that way, but I think she also used her cell phone to call in as well, and hopefully now she can hear us. Janet, if it is you, can you unmute yourself? Okay, well, I'm going to guess it's Janet because the number is very familiar to me. And I think I repeated it over and over again last month at the meeting. So
let me look at my cell phone.
Being recorded.
I might have it on my cell phone.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry. I'll turn it back over to you, Susan. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I can't look on my cell phone at the same time. See what Janet Carleggio's cell phone number is, if it's on there. Okay. Yes. All right. Janet's cell phone number is 499. Oh.
Yeah, it's the right number. It's
perfect. I shouldn't be right now. Oh, okay. Clearly, I work for the CIA, right? Okay.
Clearly not. All right. So, good.
So we're set now, right?
Move on. Yeah.
It's okay. We can move on. All right. The next item on the agenda is the liaison report. Dwight was not able to come tonight, and I do not see Tom. So that means we will not get a report from the Board of Selectmen or the Board of Finance. Okay. Next item on the agenda is minutes of the October 5th meeting. Has everyone had a chance to look at them? I have no corrections. Does anybody else have any corrections? Anyone have any corrections? No. Thought the minutes were fabulous. I'll need a motion to accept them.
So moved.
Pat, a second?
Nancy, I'll second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Hey, Janet's here.
Okay.
Hey, Janet.
Hi, Janet.
Oh, Janet, wonderful seeing you. Okay. Anyone opposed to accepting the minutes? Okay. Motion carried. Okay.
I'm not sure if we can hear Janet. Janet, will you wave at us if you can hear us? Janet, will you wave at us if you hear us?
Can you hear us, Janet?
All right, I'm going to take that as no and that she's still working on her audio.
I think she is.
Okay.
Moving through the agenda. Human Services, the 6-year capital improvement budget.
Okay. You all should have received 4 pages of capital budget. I did meet with Pat and Susan preliminarily and spoke at length with Brad Parsons and with Tony Genovese to get the 6-year budget in shape. We are going to leave $15,000 in the first year, FY22, Nancy, if you don't have it there. I'm talking to Nancy Fund, because she's taking minutes tonight. $15,000 for the chairs, which were in there originally. These are chairs for the cafeteria. I'm going to take a sidebar here for 1 second. We got some very good news today. We did receive the full measure of our STEEP grant. So very exciting news. $128,505, which is the maximum we could receive, with a $10,000 matching from the town, which puts us to about $138,000. So with the idea that the center will have some very positive renovations upcoming, and I'll address a little bit more about that after, we really should have some chairs that aren't falling apart. So back to the capital budget. So $15,000 covers 100 chairs. They're stacking chairs that will replace the chairs falling apart. They will be easily cleanable, wiped down going forward. That is what's in FY22. In 23, we have a sizable amount. I put in $250,000. It is, according to Brad, necessary to do a study, which can be somewhere between $10,000 and $15,000, to study to see how ductwork would work in the building, or whether or not a split system would suffice. And for our purposes, we'll do the study, and then it would be somewhere in the nature of $200,000 to $250,000 for that actual work. It is a ballpark figure. I am aware, Dwight's not here tonight. There is a planned referendum for the town for either December or January. You've been made aware of this in Dwight's last report, to improve the old firehouse to a meeting space, to finish, I think, a shed behind the new firehouse, to add a roof to Beecher Road School, and to add improvement and actually finish the senior center. So what I have met with Tony Genovese and an architect, and David Stein from Silver Petrocelli, which those of you who worked on some of the planning work knows that his plans are the ones that we've been working through for the last couple of years, and trying to move ahead with portions of the design with our own fundraising money. But if there is that referendum, the $138,000 that I just mentioned from the STEEP grant, combined with the money that they're hoping to put into the referendum, would cover this capital expenditure. So the HVAC system that we're looking for, either ductwork or split system, is actually going to be put into some of this, the referendum that the town will vote on. It'll likely come right out of our capital budget at that time, but I think it's important to get this information in front of the Board of Selectmen, Board of Finance, that we continue to have a building with no air handling. And so we put this in here as a placeholder. We hope that fundraising dollars and the STEEP grant and the possible referendum will cover it, and it will not come out of the capital budget. That's my hope. But as of right now, we definitely need something to move clean air into the senior center and take stale air out of it. There is nothing but windows and doors. Tony Genovese is well aware of our air handling needs. And I think it is a priority for the town. Up there with the same importance as the ramp was. It's kind of if it doesn't come through with the grant money, the town will make this happen. It's that important at this juncture to have a free flow of clean air for the seniors.
Jeanette?
Yeah.
Pat, could you, from a timing perspective, does that mean the study will happen over the next 12 months? Or the study won't even start until next fiscal year?
So what, so should the referendum fail and there not be money for this going forward in 2021, in 2022, then yes, a study would happen first, and then the improvement would happen after that. As it looks, if this is approved at referendum, I believe that all of the transitions at the senior center would be done together. It would be part of the architectural plan, would be the study, and the work that's being done on the rest of the senior center would be in conjunction with either split systems or duct work, depending on what was required. And we certainly aren't going to replace ceiling tiles with a renovation with that $128,000 when we realize that we're going to be doing duct work that would require taking down ceiling tiles. So the town very much wants to put these two projects together and move forward with, and you certainly don't want to do flooring before you're doing ceiling work. I think there's an order to these things, and it needs to be done with the architect and with the plan and knowing what the budget is. So good to know that we have a start. We have that $128,000. If we need to, we will do work with that $128,000 that does not impact a future renovation for ductwork. In that we would postpone doing any ceiling work whatsoever. Okay, I'm going to move on to.
For just a minute, this is Janet calling me. Hello, Janet.
You might want to mute yourself.
You have no audio. Okay, you have no. Okay, you have.
I could suggest that you keep her on speakerphone and she can listen through your phone and hear your, at least.
Janet, we'll put my phone on speakerphone and you can listen that way. She's trying to get in another way, she said.
Okay.
She wants to be invited in. She said she got through and you need to let her in.
She's absolutely right.
Sorry, okay, I got it now.
Perfect. Okay.
I got it.
Good.
Okay.
Excellent. All right. Sorry for interrupting, but Janet, we're happy that you can hear us now and be part of it.
Oh, I'm sorry for the confusion. I just not good at this.
You're here. That's what's important. All right, I'm going to move ahead to FY24 if there aren't any more questions on FY23. And in that, we've added, all right, I think, can you all hear me? There's a little bit of reverb. So we had this in the budget. We're just changing the year. We've pushed it off a year. It is the carport for 3 vehicles. You've all seen the police department's carport, keeping the snow off of the police vehicles, keeping the corrosion back. And as for safety reasons, we don't have people trying to clean the roofs off of the vans. This is an important item, although we were able to push it back a year, trying to be prudent with the town's money. I added 5% to it. It was in at $45,000. We've added 5% to make it $49,875 to accommodate for any increases from the bid. Mary Ellen used to always add a 5% on each year you push an item out. The next item is, believe it or not, a purchase of a vehicle. The car we were given by the police department, although we love it, is a 2008 with 160,000 miles on it. And to be fair, we're hoping to get 4 years out of it, but in order to keep us in the loop of receiving hand-me-down vehicles from the police department, we need to keep the vehicle in our capital budget. And then I'm sure that it says here in the description that we would be willing to accept a suitable car in replacement by another department should that become available. And this car has been terrific. Everybody seems to really like it. It's in good shape, and it's doing a good job so far. We haven't made it through the first winter yet, so we'll let you know. Are there any questions on the 4 years that we have, for which we have items?
Is there anything on your wish list that you don't have in this?
You know, Pat, let's get through some construction. We've got a small grant we think we're getting from the One of a Kind Foundation for chairs in the lounge and a couple of tables. We're very grateful for all the attention we've gotten so far, and we have hopes that that once our needs are met, we will not be coming back so frequently.
No, it was just, my question was more, what are we deferring? So
right. Well, I guess what the answer is we're deferring everything that hasn't been built yet. You know, so let's get the referendum passed. Let's get the built-ins in the lounge. Let's have the signage, the reception desk, the sports equipment closet, new flooring, cabinetry in the kitchen. You know, let's get those things. Let's refurbish ourselves and make us a modern center. And then there is an item. There's a divider for the cafeteria that has come in at about $35,000 that I have left off of the wish list. Should we come back to the Vibrant Center? I know that we are. After COVID, that will become an important priority to be able to maximize our space by utilizing a device to separate folks out. But right now, let's get through our wish list and see if we end up needing more. We do have hopes of having another Living Treasure dinner next October. And hopefully the town will want to come out and honor some people and raise some money, and we'll be able to pay for a few things ourselves.
Thank you.
Sure.
So we're going to need a motion to accept this budget. So would anyone
I make a motion to accept the budget.
Damn it.
6-year capital, or actually it's a 6-year capital improvement budget. Okay. Second?
I'll second.
Okay, Mary Lee. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The motion is carried. Okay. You'll all notice that there's an abbreviated agenda here. Jeanette, did you want, the next item on our business, the next item on the agenda is our meeting dates. And then under old business, you might want to make some more comments or not, Jeanette. Okay, that sounds good. All right, so you all, if you downloaded all your information, we need to vote on our meeting schedule for next year. Have you all seen it? Do you want me to go through the dates? I am assuming, knowing how thorough Jeanette is, that she's checked to make sure that it doesn't conflict with any of the special holidays, religious holidays, etc. Is everyone?
Ellen and I went through this. I do want you to take note that rather than pushing our meeting to the second Monday of the month when the first Monday is unavailable, I have pushed it to Tuesday. This is because I still have a commitment as chairman of the Library Commission, and our meeting is the second Monday, and that becomes a conflict for me. If that's unacceptable to anyone here, I'll make sure that we can change that. But for now, it happens on 2 occasions. We have a conflict on Labor Day, and we moved the meeting to the day after. And we had a conflict in May. As you all remember, the first Monday in May is election night. And I assume some people here, like Pat Madden, will be working that night. We'll want to not meet on election night in Woodbridge. So I moved it to the Tuesday after. And Pat can just be tired.
Thank you.
Do we need to read through the dates, or has everyone seen the memorandum and we can vote on it? Would anybody like a motion to accept our meeting schedule for 2021?
I'll make that motion.
Okay.
Arnie? Okay. Arnie. And second would be Mary Lee, seconding it. Okay. All those in favor of accepting our commission meeting schedule for 2021?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting carries. Motion carries. Okay.
I gotta learn how to do this.
So under old business, Jeanette, would you like to bring us up to date on why we have an abbreviated?
Sure. So at the end of October, I tested positive for COVID, and as did my family. Unfortunately, I had gone to work that day, so it put my staff at risk, and many of them, including Christy, who's still on quarantine. Christy gets to come back on Thursday, but they all had to go for testing, and those I had spent time with had to quarantine 14 days. Nancy was lucky enough not to have been in my company, nor had Kathy. So basically, they've been running the department for the last 2 weeks. They've been doing the transportation for the senior center. They've been taking care of all the calls and almost everything that goes on in the department with a lot of effort. Judy and Christy and Ellen and I worked from home. Ellen was able to come back because it was a little bit of a miscommunication about who spent how much time with whom. But once we got our contact tracing through, Ellen was able to come back. With that in mind, it just seemed like an extra burden to the staff to try and finish their reports and to run this meeting when everybody was home last week. And so we pushed reports off until December. I hope you'll all be patient until then. It's a funny thing, but having had COVID, my time out of work was less than those that I exposed and did not have COVID. I was lucky enough to not have anything more than a cold. My contact tracers put me to Friday as finishing my quarantine, and I spent the weekend feeling fine. So today I went back to work, and it's as scary as you can imagine. So kudos to the staff who've done an excellent job working from home, and those who have been in the trenches doing all the daily work. Couldn't be more grateful to Nancy and Kathy and Ellen for what they've done there. And Christy was amazing with getting her work done from her home. So we're really very lucky that we have such a dedicated crew. And if you're asking the $1 million question of where I was exposed, We were extremely cautious here. We wash the groceries, we surgical strikes to the supermarket. We see no one. Thankfully, my son didn't catch it. So he's living with us and did not catch it. For the most part, we're wearing masks at home. I have mine off, but he's got a N95, so he's protected. And it's been incredibly alarming. I have to say, it was a very, very scary time. But that's where we've been for the last 2 weeks. But we're, hoping to move ahead now with Christy coming back on Thursday. Ellen will be back in the office tomorrow. Judy will be back in the office tomorrow. I'll be back in the office tomorrow. I have to say the nicest thing is that the protocols we put in place worked. Nobody else got sick. So our masks and distancing worked really well. We did take temperatures every day and I never had a fever. So it's hard to say whether we should continue with taking temperatures. It works on some, doesn't work on others. And that's any questions. I'd be happy to entertain any questions.
Just glad to know that you're healthy and doing well and never really got too seriously sick. That's the most important part of it.
Really, we're very grateful.
I totally agree. I wanted to say that it's great to see you looking healthy and sobering experience having heard it.
Yeah, we are. Well, we'll have George tested tomorrow morning as the end of his 14 days, and hopefully he's gotten through his quarantine, and our son won't have caught it, which speaks volumes to how much he can distance himself from us.
Would you also comment on programming as it relates to COVID cases, the rise of COVID cases in Woodbridge, and what it means for programming and for HS, because I think that's on all of our minds too.
Sure. I'll quickly address this because I know we're off topic here, but just a quick update. The positivity rate in Woodbridge is 15.4%, which put us into the red zone. The guidelines from the governor as part of the phase 2.1 is that seniors and those with comorbidities should stay home between the hours of 9 and 5, taking that very seriously, given my scare here and how easily it can disrupt the entire department when it's just a interaction and then it's 2 weeks lost. We are postponing indefinitely having the seniors come back for the craft group, which was scheduled to begin this Thursday, indoors for 2 hours every Thursday. We're going to postpone that until the positivity rate comes under 15 and we lose the red status for Woodbridge. I think it's best not to put a date on it, but just to watch that positivity rate. This also affects any future programming. We were going to start art class in January. Pat Madden is in our art class. We will hope that the positivity rate comes down and we can hold the art class. We won't be having any exercise. And we are starting a couple of new Zoom programs. We've had a lot of interest lately to start some Zoom programs. So we'll start an exercise class with our new instructor, Michelle. In a month or so, we'll start a Zoom exercise class that the folks were very interested in, and we'll do a Zoom mindfulness group. We have had some interest in that, and we are going to continue to do our drive-through holidays. Christy put together a schedule of about one per month, focusing on a specific holiday or celebration we can have. So we'll do Thanksgiving is on the 19th. We have 100 people signed up for a drive-through, and we have wonderful donations that cover the entire event. We have Bailey Morse, Glazer, Schaefer, and Proto, the police union, Coachman Square, and the Linden are paying for the Thanksgiving luncheon, and the Rotary Club is paying for the holiday luncheon. We'll have another 100 come through for that. And Christy has some great ideas for January, February, March. We talked today about the potential of having a spring fling, perhaps in the parking lot with music and social distance. So we really are continuing to try and get the seniors out once a month and interact with them, but also keep them safe and at home doing some programming and hopefully not isolating too much. It is it's a double-edged sword. Isolation is as deadly as this virus. So we want to continue to engage with them. Is that good, Susan?
Fine for me. Did anybody have any other questions? If not,
Nancy's here. Does anybody have any questions of Nancy? I caught her off guard, but if you, you want to say a few things, I didn't have her prepare anything.
I could just say that we just put together, trick-or-treat bags for the middle school kids and distributed those last week before Halloween on 2 days. They were very grateful, honestly, and we have not moved forward with any. I've been working with the middle school, and right now I'm not even allowed in the buildings, so I am working with the Anti-Defamation League, set up some Zoom workshops.
Good.
That's terrific. Thank you, Nancy. So I think we can bring you all up to date on December 7th. And look forward to meeting on that date. Susan?
We've finished our agenda. So if there's nothing else, then our next meeting will be December 7th. And we finished our meeting in record time.
Do you want to make a motion to adjourn?
Yes, I will need a motion to adjourn.
Second it.
Janet?
I second it.
Okay, and a second? Who's second?
Nancy, I'll second.
Nancy, okay. All those in favor of adjourning?
Aye.
Aye.
Terrific.
Opposed? Okay.
Thank you all for coming.
Glad you're doing better, Jeanette.
Yes. Yes.
To be
Stay well,
honest,
everybody.
I was never doing poorly.